What's up? What's up, everybody? I am back. Yes, I am back. Took the month off of July. I think the last time we were together, we hung out was in June. Normally in July, I get my kiddos. So, the month of July is all about me focusing on my children. If you've been following along on the other podcast, on the other channel, I have my children, I got my church. So, I've been really focused in on those. I have a lot of good episodes coming, but I didn't really have the time to do that. And I like to just focus on the kids, especially in the month of July. So I have them the whole month. Not don't have time to go into that, but I think fatherhood is very important. And so me being a single father, yeah. So I got to spend a lot of time with my kids, made a lot of memories, man. Took a lot of pictures, had a lot of fun. Please check out that TikTok, man. I think I uploaded like a couple of videos of the kind of stuff that we was doing. So yes, definitely go check out that TikTok at underscore Minister Marcus. I'm there on TikTok. Um, so tonight I thought, today, however you watching or listening, I first want to appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Today's episode, I got a really cool episode about dating. So some of my episodes be here or there, but today's episode, um, is about dating, man. And so I had a couple of guys, to talk to me, and I noticed, especially the younger guys, they have questions about dating. So, guys who are single, guys who are struggling to kind of, what is the right and wrong thing to do. And I tell them, I'm not the love guru, I'm not the love doctor, you know what I'm saying? Like Martin, I'm not the love doctor. But after so many people that hit me up, and a lot of my viewers are male viewers, I thought I would just kind of upload something just for y'all. And so quick, quick, very quick episode. This episode is going to give you seven things you can do to get your first date right with the girl that you like. All right. Seven simple things that you can do for your first date to get that first date right for the girl that you like. All right. So I'm not going to waste no time. I'm not going to prolong no time. I'm going to just jump right in. So a friend of mine was hollering at me about man, he be striking out on his first date. I had so many first date blunders, man. One of my homeboys, close friend of mine, uh he messed up, and the first date just didn't go the way he wanted it to go. And he was like, we were just talking, and he wasn't really asking for advice. We was just talking. And so I thought that I would just come up with a list. It was him, it was another friend of mine, it was one of my son's friends, it was, one of my nephews, just people, who are around talking about dating, talking about things that they could do to kind of, what can we do to make that first date work? And so I thought I would put together a simple, quick list just to, kind of give some guidance. So, all right. So, first thing. So, I have had this conversation on my podcast before about who pays on the first date. And if you've been watching, I think that the man should pay on the first date. I think the man should pay on the first date. That's just my own personal take. Call me old school, call me whatever. Um, that's just what I think. I think the man should pay. However, sometimes the women think that you should go Dutch, or it's okay for the woman to pay. I ain't got no problem with that, but in my opinion, I think the man pays. But for here's the number one. I think the man pays for the first date. So that means you need to pick a place that you can afford and offer to take her out on a date. Look, I want you to get this, man. Wherever you are, the woman is never going to escalate. You have to escalate. So if it's a girl that you're talking to, let's say you met her at the gym, you got her number, you talk to her for a few days, and then the first thing you do is you're trying to escalate to that first date. Now, you have to do your homework. You have to know places that you can afford. And this is not for you to splurge on the first date. The first date is not the date for you to splurge. So many dudes get that wrong. I want to stress this to you guys that are doing your first date. The first date is sending a message. So everything I'm going to tell you to do on this episode, this is not to respond to what she wants. This is to display what you want to display, right? You are saying things without saying them. All right. First things first, pick a place you can afford. and offer to take her out. You have to escalate to that. You're gonna get her number. She may give you her number. Y'all may be talking, but you have to escalate. And then when you ask her to a place that you know you can afford. All right. Get this. Free and inexpensive is not bad. Women say if you ain't got no money, you shouldn't be dating anyway. No, 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 no. I'm gonna give you the free game. The free game is free and inexpensive is not bad if you can be creative. You hear what I'm saying? If you can be creative, free and inexpensive is not bad. You just got to be creative. There are a lot of free museums, especially here in Houston. It's a few free museums. It's a lot of public parks here. It's a lot of public art galleries. You can take her on a picnic. You could do the inexpensive date, like taking her to Starbucks or a coffee shop, or taking her to a brunch spot. You know, there are many ways you can do that. You got to use your creativity. And I would definitely look, there's nothing wrong with you Googling first date ideas. I need you to do that and make a list and then put you a list together. If you ain't got no money, you can be creative. All right. I know a whole bunch of dudes, right, that ain't got no money, but they finesse their way in. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, a woman is looking for if you don't have no money, what can you know what I'm saying? She's looking for that creative spark. You know what I'm saying? You can be very, 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 very creative. So then look, if that's not your thing, I should have probably said this right after I said pick a place you can afford. But I would say this initially, just have a talk. So when you talk to her, when you get her number and y'all talking on the phone, ask her, like, talk about money. Talk about, like, who do you ask her, who do in her circles, or in her opinion, who does she think should pay on the first date? And get her response. See what she says. Talk about that. That's one of the conversations you can have before you go to the first date. Ask her places that she's comfortable with going. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make it just completely obvious. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but just like make it like, include it in the conversation. There's something that y'all gotta talk about money. Talk about who does she think should pay on the first date. Talk about going Dutch. See what she says, just to hear her opinion, not to say this is what I want, this is what I don't want, but it's a conversation. You can ask questions about it, ask about money, ask about her expectations, let her know your expectations. Like, that's some things that you should talk about before that first date. But I'm just saying, you got to escalate that. But if you unsure, ask, talk about money. Like, don't be scared to have conversation. I'll do a whole nother episode on having conversation, just conversation, man. And there's a debate with that. Some people say conversation rule the nation. Some people say, if money, money, no honey. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the point to that is having the conversation, right? Having the conversation. But if you don't have a conversation, the man pays on the first date. And then you should be picking the place that you can afford. I always say this. I say I'll never allow anyone to dictate how you spend your never let no one dictate how you spend your money. You should always be conscious of, if you're gonna take a woman out on the first date. I'm gonna say this, and look, I can get some pushback on this, and that's okay. Leave it in the comments. I don't care. But I think this: the first date is about getting to know one another. The first date is not about putting on display how much money you have. That means you not gonna be taking her to no Fogo de Chao on the first date. That's not first date right there. That's not what we doing. You get what I'm saying? So it's not about displaying how much money you have. It's about displaying who you are. And it's a sign. If she wants you to do all this extra flamboyant stuff on the first date, I'm telling you, my guy, she probably wants something different than what you want. You looking for a real connection. And if you got money, anybody that has money, you not coming on the first date to splurge, bro. That's not the goal. The goal is to get to know the person. Push back, whatever. But the truth is, a first date should be about getting to know the person, seeing them in person, seeing how she puts herself together, letting her see how you put yourself together, right? Letting her see that you can dress, seeing if she can dress, seeing how she handles the people. She's going to see how you handle the people. That's what the first date is about. You don't want to take her to a place that's like too cheap. That's why I say be creative. You can be creative with that first date. There's a lot of things that you could do. All right. But if you're going to take her somewhere that you know you can afford. I saw this I forgot what it was on, but it was on social media where a girl was clowning the dude about taking her to what was it, Cheesecake Factory. What I think he should have done, should have dropped off. Or he should have just left her wherever she wanted to go and found somebody else that was okay with Cheesecake Factory. Because I know a whole lot of women that are cool with going to Cheesecake Factory. You know what I'm saying? But it just shows that, this materialistic thing. I'm gonna share with y'all a story, and then we can go on to the next one. I asked the girl out on a date. So many of you, if you watched the last episode, I think it was the last episode or the last episode before that. Um, I was in a long-term relationship, right? And that kind of ended abruptly. And I'm not saying whose fault it was. I do think it wasn't my fault. So I guess I'll say that. But the point is that since I've been dating, I asked a young lady out on a date, and me, I'm always reading because I have to read. I want a counterpart. I want somebody that I can build with. I'm looking for a wife. And so man, I asked a young lady out on a date, and she said, "Yeah, what we gonna do?" And so I tell her, "Okay, yeah, I got this planned. I had planned to golf. It was this golf spot that I had read about downtown that had like not just golf, but they had like so much other stuff connected to this little spot. So I'm like, yeah, I want to go do that. You know what I'm saying? I had never been there. It's mini golf. And they had drinks, they had food, they had good stuff. It's golf. Then they had a lot of other stuff that was connected to that. And so I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go do golf. It's this food spot that's down the street. So yeah, I wanted to go and do that. And she was like, oh, that's the bare minimum. And I'm like, okay, I respect that. I mean, I think you should find you a person that's on your level because I'm just not on that level. And she was like, she tried to make it seem like she wasn't trying to be like materialistic, but then she was trying to throw shade on the side. I ain't even respond to it because like what I'm gonna respond to it for? Like, all right, yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, all right. You think I'm broke? I got you. Yep, you know what you're right. I'm just not the guy for you, and that's okay. That's okay. That's something else, fellas. You need to know you can bow out. You can bow out if you see that she is not speaking your language. You could just, you know what, respectfully bow. You ain't got to get no attitude. You ain't got to get mad. All right, so that's number one. Pick a place that you can afford and offer to take her out. You need to escalate. I don't know how many times I got to tell dudes if you get her number, she is not gonna escalate. You got to escalate. Take her to go get tacos. Take her to a taqueria or something. Take her anywhere. You have to escalate the first date. All right. So look. So then look. So earlier I had said about you gonna see how she put herself together. She gonna see how you put yourself together. Here's number two, and I stress this, fellas. Make sure you do not stink. Make sure nothing on your body stinks. Why do I have to say that? I don't know why I have to say that, but I have to say that because I met so many women who have expressed to me first date where the dude be stinking, the shirt is funky, the hat is funky, he don't smell fresh, he don't smell like he bathed, and then dudes don't take the time to shower. Look, a few years ago when I first got out of my when I was divorced, when I first got divorced, I was married. That's what I meant to say, not divorced. I was married. But after I first got out of my divorce, I was trying to learn how to date again because I had been out the dating world for like years, and I was like, man, what do I need to be doing? Man, the roommate that I had, I ain't gonna say his name. He know who he was. We had a spot in the club. You know what I'm saying? But I learned a lot because I noticed one of the things that he would do. He always had smell good. Back then, I wasn't in the smell good. I was just hustling and grinding. You know what I'm saying? But I noticed he had smell good. And the thing is, every time we had to do a transition, so if we go home, he would like spot shower, boom, and he got his cologne, boom. Or if we had a gig, we would spot shower, boom. Hey, I'm coming to your gig tonight. He was spot shower, you know what I'm saying? And I learned, right? That was when I first got divorced. But after when I did start back dating, I learned that smell good will take you a long way with women. I stress that. I've been teaching that to my boys since they was like 12, son. Before that, you need to keep you some deodorant on and you need to keep you some smell good. You need to be fresh, especially if you think a female is going to be around. You need to be fresh and clean. I stress that. Make sure you don't stink. Make sure you smell nice. You want to know where to get you some smell good? Go to Walmart and get some Axe. Get the cologne. Get some. Look, I always say this: body wash, deodorant, lotion, and cologne. Start investing in all of these things right now. I stress that to you, my brother. You need to smell good, bro. Make sure your clothes look. I'm sorry that I have to say this to you, right? I love you enough to tell you this. Make sure you wash your clothes, my G. Make sure you watch. Look, make sure. I can't, man. I'm gonna tell you this. Can't nothing ruin a date like a stain on the shirt. You should have inspected that, my brother. Nothing ruins a date like a brother that ain't put nothing on his beard or that ain't combed out. You got to make sure that's premeditated, partner. You know what I'm saying? I stress that. Number two, you can kill your first date if you stink. Make sure your clothes are clean. Get you a fresh haircut or a trim. One of the things I used to do is my brother Twan, if I couldn't make it to the barbershop, I'm Twan, line me up. And then when I start growing a beard, I learned how to line it up. It gotta be neat. It got all the hair gotta stop at the same place. I'm just telling you. I love you enough to tell you this, my God. You ain't nobody else gonna tell you. I'm the man that's gonna tell you. You need to get if you going on the first date, you can ruin the first date. That says to her, you are not put together. I can tell you this, bruh, I know some heavy dudes that keep it lined up and they don't have a problem with getting no girl. I myself, I go to the gym, but it surprised me when I worked so hard to get what I got, right? And back then I was just like, man, so what? She gonna talk to me or not? But the dudes, they was big, they wasn't even going to the gym. And they kept it lined up. They kept the beard lined up. They kept the, you know what I'm saying? They meeting, they going somewhere with some girls, some females gonna be, and they keeping it trimmed up. I'm telling you, my G, you gotta keep that in check. I know, brush your teeth, get you some gum. I don't chew gum, but you gotta do something to keep your breath fresh. Listerine. I'm trying to look. I'm not trying to fuss at you. I'm just telling you, nothing can destroy a date like something that stink on you. You got to be conscious of that, my guy. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. With love, brother. With love. With love, brother. Brother. Look, the worst thing that you can have is a stanky shirt or smelly underarms. Ugh. Brother. Ugh. Brother, what is that? You can't go out like that, my guy. Take a shower. Put on some clean socks. I'm just saying, man, get up under the scrotums. Get up, man, put that soap in there. Let it marinate a little bit. Shave, my brother. Shave. Get that. I mean, I'm just telling you, don't stink. All right, here's number 3. Look, this is not a major thing, but this is just something that I did learn, all right? Punctuation, be on time. Uh, It says something about a man that's on time. And look, here's what if you're not on time, make sure you staying in contact with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, let her know, oh, I'm running late a little bit. Make sure you're sending out the text and don't say you 10 minutes away if you actually 30 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, let's push back. Let's push that time back to if y'all meeting at 6, hey, let's push back to 6:30. Or let's push back to 7. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself that extra time. Like again, this first date, this is about making, this is about just not putting on display because you ain't trying to put on no front, but you are trying to put your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? And somebody might say, oh, why you got to do all that for a female? I'm telling you, my brother. I mean, you gonna have to put forth some effort. You got to put forth some effort in anything. You got to put forth some effort at work. You got to put forth effort, or else you gonna be one of those dudes sitting alone trying to meet somebody on PlayStation. It ain't worth it, my guy. You got to put in the effort. So look, I'm telling you, be on time, be punctual, or remain in contact. Let that girl know. All right, now here's another one. Now I have had a lot of conversations about number 4. That was number 3. Number 3, be on time, right? And stay in contact if you're gonna be late. It's nothing wrong with pushing the date back. Don't let her cancel. Push the date back. Just let her know that you're gonna be late. She'll be cool with it. That's number 3. Here's number 4. Now, I have had a lot of pushback on number 4. I don't think that you as a man have to hide nothing that you do because you a grown man and you pay your own phone bill, right? Here's what I will say. Put your phone on vibrate or put your phone on silent. One of the practices that I do, I leave it face up because I ain't got to hide nothing. We not committed. If that first date is not a commitment, but what it's saying is I don't have nothing to hide. Now, for all of you brothers that got a woman at home and you are dating, you need to first either figure out what you're going to do at home. That's just me saying that. You got to figure out what that situation is. Or if you're going to do it like that and you just want to do that, you need to make sure then ain't nobody gonna be blowing you up. And if somebody is blowing you up, you probably don't need to be dating. I'm just saying, that's me saying that to you, my brother. You probably just don't. You got to get that figured out. You know what I'm saying? But I would say put it on vibrate, put it on silent, right? It shows that you just don't have nothing to hide. I would say this. I would say this. If you don't want to put it on silent, you put it on vibrate, put it away, leave it in your car, because what you want to do, out of sight, out of mind. If it's out of your sight, it's out of your mind, and it's out of her mind. She ain't gonna say, "Oh, he was on his phone," or he was doing this, or he was doing that. What that sends a message that you're not really into her. And if you're not really into her, you shouldn't be on a date with her. But this is about doing things right for the girl that you like. So if you like her, put it on vibe, put it on silent, put it away. Leave it face up if you're gonna do it. But if you don't want to leave it face up, put it away. Leave it in the car. I'm just telling you. Forget about it. And look, I gotta stress this, fellas, you gotta show up with a game plan. That's number 6. But here we still on number 4. Show up with a game plan. But here's what I want to say: don't focus on your phone. Focus on the girl. Don't focus on your phone. Focus on the girl. If there is a silence in between y'all, come with a game plan. That goes to number 6. But I'm staying on number 4. But number 4 is don't focus on the phone. We talking about phone. Number 4 has everything to do with your phone. You need to put it on vibe, put it on silent, or put it away. Right? Don't focus on the phone. Focus on her. You can get on Facebook when you get home. You can get on TikTok when you get back home. If you ain't getting on TikTok to pull up a video to show her, don't get on it. If you ain't getting on Instagram to show a video to show her, I think Instagram, you probably shouldn't even get on Instagram, bro. If you're on the first date, don't get on Instagram. Don't get on Facebook. TikTok is okay because you could just show her, hey, yo, check this out. I was watching this, or look, I heard this. Use that as conversation. You get what I'm saying? But don't focus on the phone. I'm stressing that because you can kill your first date. Your phone can kill your first date. I'm just telling you. All right. Here's number 5. Number 5, location. Say it with me. Location. Say it 3 times. Location, location, location. What do I mean when I say that? Location means this is a first date. You should not be going to a club on the first date. You should not be going to the movies on a first date. You need to go somewhere where y'all can talk and have conversation and get to know each other. We talking about a lounge. We talking brunch. We talking dinner or lunch. We talking a walk in the park. We talking anything. A museum. A museum is always going to have talk points. Always. The art. You can always find something to talk about at a museum. And remember I said creativity. Creativity. You can take her to a free thing. And there's a lot of things to talk about in public places. A walk in the park. You can do a plenty of things. But number 5 is location. Pick a place y'all can talk and get to know each other. Remember what I said at the beginning. At the beginning, the first date is not about you showing how much money you got. It's not about you doing anything except getting to know her. So location is important. You need to pick a place that y'all can talk and get to know each other. That means no loud places and no movies. Movies is like 4th or 5th dates when y'all know each other and y'all have had conversations and y'all been talking on the phone. If this is your first date with this woman and y'all been on the phone and y'all been talking to each other and it's been a month plus, let's say y'all long distance, maybe a movie. But even if y'all have been long distance on the phone and y'all have never met each other, the first date should not be the movies, because you want to see her, you want her to see you. You want to be getting in touch and engaging with her. No loud no loud places, no movies. Be simple and creative. I say this again, fellas. Creativity can cover if you don't have money. Creativity can cover if you don't have money. If you are creative, you don't need a lot of money. You even if you got a lot of money, if you are creative, you can cover a lot of that just by being creative. I'm just trying to tell you. All right. So no loud places. I don't know why I keep saying that. No loud places, no movies. Pick somewhere where y'all can talk and engage with each other. Mini golf is really good. If she's not in the mini golf, get you a brunch place, get you a coffee place, get you a walk in the park, get you somewhere. If it's too hot, find you a shaded area. You know, if you are here in Houston, Herman Park has a lot of things that you could do walking around, and it might be a little hot, but that's not bad if y'all walking around outside. They have a couple of things you can do. Miller Outdoor Theater. They have free museums here in Houston. I can't think of the name of this place, but it's downtown. Y'all could catch the train. I mean, there's so many things that you could do. But the point is, you are trying to connect with her. You connect by having conversation. With that, I stress this again. Listen when you have a conversation. Ask questions and listen. I would definitely encourage you to do this. So this goes along with that, right? Well, we're going to go to number 6, which number 6 is. So number 5 is location. Location. Now, here's number 6. Number 6 is when you get to the date should be about connection. Number 6 is conversation. My brother, you need to learn how to make conversation. I don't know if your mom told you that or your dad told you that. I don't know if your brothers or your friends told you that. But the way to get through to, especially to women, is to make conversation. They like to talk. I stress that. They like to talk. So you need to get good at listening and making conversation. Learn how to ask questions. Learn what questions to ask. A Google search is get you that. Make you a list. Put things in your arsenal. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to have a plan. That's what I'm saying. But number 6 is make conversation and listen to understand, not to respond. This movie is a movie called, I think it's called Hitch with Will Smith, where he tells the dude, don't be looking at her boobs while she's talking. Don't be looking at her lips talking about how pretty she is. No, don't say, look, I would even encourage you to do this. Give her a few compliments and far in between and listen to what she's saying to understand and then respond. You need to be making conversation and asking revealing questions. Revealing questions, make conversations. Your conversations should be light and fun. You should talk about things, right? Just to get to know the kind of person that she is. And if you do ask some spicy questions, don't make it be too real. Keep it light, keep it fun, keep it upbeat. You got to learn how to do this, my brother. Look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm telling you this, my guy. Ain't nobody else gonna tell you this, but I'm telling you. Look, my brother, brother. Learn how to talk. Learn how to make conversation. I have a brother. I'm not gonna say who he is, but he gonna know who he is once he sees the video, and then the other brothers who know who he is. But I have a brother, and I learned this just by watching him, that he is very good at talking. He can talk about anything. He'll just walk up to somebody and make a conversation, and he'll be standing there talking for like 10, 20 minutes about all kinds of stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, why is he talking to them? Because I'm not friendly like that. But what I learned from being around him is conversation. Make conversation. Learn how to talk to people. Just making conversation, asking questions, getting to know a person. It amazes me. I learned this from my brother, how he can go up to anybody and just talk to anybody and have a whole full-blown conversation and don't know them. And they leave thinking that they know, like they leave thinking that they like, man, I feel like I've known him all of my life. And it's just because he made conversation and he listened to understand and then responded. He wasn't talking about this or that, all this, your boobs are big, or you look so fine, or you so. No, listen to her. Listen to her mind. You learn that by listening to her conversations. All right, here's number 7. Finally, at the end of the day, leave on good terms. That means you need to be a gentleman. Learn to be a gentleman. I didn't say simp. Get that. I didn't say be a simp. I said be a gentleman. You don't have to be the nice guy. You need to be a good man. Hear that? You don't need to be a nice guy, but you do need to be a good man. That means walk her to her car. Make sure that she gets there with safety. Open the door. I would say that. I mean, some dudes don't do that, but at least walk her to her car. Give her a hug. The forehead kiss. Now, look, I've had conversations about this. Look, the safest thing is the forehead kiss. First date forehead kiss. Now, if y'all been vibing and the conversation's been good and you feel confident enough to lean in for that first, lean in, but cautiously. You know what I'm saying? You might get it. Or here's what I say: forehead kiss or on the cheek. Give her a nice little kiss on the cheek, kiss on the forehead, walk home, go back to your car. But make sure she gets to her car, make sure the car starts, and make sure she drives away. End on good terms, leave on good terms. Hug and forehead kiss is always a great way to end the first date, or a cheek kiss. Right now, here's a question: Should sex be included? I had people that ask me, "That's the first date, man. If she ready, should not be ready." For me personally, I would say no. I would say no to sex. I know that sound, I don't know how people would take that. Oh man, that's I don't know how you would take it. And I don't care. At the end of the day, I wouldn't be okay with having sex on the first date, because if she gonna have sex with me on the first date, she gonna have sex with anybody on the first date, and it says something about her. Yeah, and it says something about you. So not even what it would say about her on my part, what it would say about me, for me to have sex on the first date is an absolute no. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that you should see now. I would say no. Some people would say yes. I would say no. I don't think I don't think sex should be included on a first date, because that's too intimate. You need to know things about this person. Is this person trustworthy? Does this person have an STD? Does this person link up with people when she first meets them? And if she does, it's a good chance she has an STD. Not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you, you got to protect yourself, my brother. So those are the 7 things, right? To help your first date get right with the girl that you like. Yeah, and I mean, that's all I got for you. I got some new episodes coming for y'all, so please be on the lookout. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button. Let me know that you enjoyed it. Leave me some comments. Give me some feedback. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a follower of the channel, man, yeah, subscribe again. Hit the like. If you've been watching the episodes but you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time for you to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell so you can see next time I post an episode. So this is a dating 101, so to speak. So I mean, that's all I got for you. So with that, I'm going offline. I hope y'all enjoyed the episode, and I'll see y'all next week, man.